So a very good evening to all our viewers and welcome to the weekend edition of Primetime News. We are coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this evening. President sends message to the leaders of political parties.
දේශපාලඥයා තුල තිබිය යුතු පිරිසිදුභාවය පිළිබඳව ප්‍රධාන ආදර්ශය දී යුත්තේ දේශපාලන පක්ෂවල නායකයන්.
Wheat flour prices increased with a possible rise in bread prices. Minister Vijay Dasa comments on the international debt. Farmers protest once again seeking the fertilizer subsidy. Newsfirst investigates pollution in the Kalli River. Royal College Colombo wins the Battle of the Blues.
Again, we get the sea of people coming in.
We start off today with the news from the President's Diary. The ceremony to mark the first-year anniversary of the March 12th Declaration was held at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall today. The ceremony was held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
The group, including politicians who were present for the occasion, made a pledge under the theme, I am for clean politics. An official logo to symbolize clean politics was also presented to the President.
මේ රටේ ප්‍රධාන දේශපාලන පක්ෂ දෙක
The Sri Lanka Freedom Party and the United National Party, which are the two main political parties in the country, have at times become unpleasant and disgraced during elections in the history of our country. They were the parties which were responsible to unclean politics. I believe that it is the leader or leaders of the political parties who should be the example of upholding the cleanliness within the politician. What I did last year was to gain the freedom and democracy needed to build a humane society and strengthen the relevant legal and constitutional institutions needed to strengthen the human rights and fundamental rights of the country and also to grant independence of the country's judiciary, which had fallen under disrepute.
ශක්තිමත් කරමින් ස්වාධීන කරමින් ඒ කටයුතු කිරීමයි මං කළේ.
Meanwhile, the 17th anniversary celebrations of the Chamber of Young Lankan Entrepreneurs was held under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena yesterday. The Chamber of Young Lankan Entrepreneurs presented President Sirisena with a memento.
And on to your developing story this evening, the price of 1 kilogram of wheat flour has been increased with effect from midnight yesterday. Accordingly, the price of 1 kilogram of wheat flour will be increased by 7 rupees and 20 cents.
The price of a kilogram of wheat flour, which is 90 rupees, will increase to 97 rupees and 50 cents. The price hike is attributed to the tax imposed on imported wheat grain. With the increase in prices of wheat flour, the All Island Bakery Owners Association has drawn their attention towards increasing the prices of wheat flour products.
With this price hike, the prices of all bakery products, including bread, will have to be increased. It is my personal belief that the price of a pound of bread would increase from 2 rupees and 50 cents to 5 rupees. The Executive Committee of the All Island Bakery Owners Association is set to convene and take a decision on that.
However, the chairman of the All Island Bakery Owners Association said that there will be no change in the decision to reduce the price of bread during the Consumer Week.
The Consumer Affairs Authority has declared the 14th and 20th of March as Consumer Week. So we request all bakery owners to reduce the price of bread by 4 rupees during this week as promised. This was a decision we took and we won't change it.
Issuing a communique, the Minister of Finance noted that this measure was taken to grant the opportunity to farmers due to the hike in local rice production. The communique reads that amidst the growing prices of wheat flour in the international market, the customs duty concession for a kilogram of wheat has been reduced to 4 rupees from 10 rupees. The public expressed their views on the price hike.
It is hard to live when prices are increased like this.
This will economically affect the poor man. This will greatly impact those who earn for daily survival.
What will happen to our future when prices are increased like this? If they want to kill us, they might as well go ahead and do it. Why are they taking revenge on us like this?
Police are yet to ascertain the identities of the 5 charred bodies that were discovered inside a burnt-out van in the Bujampala area in Dankote. The police media spokesperson SP Rangunu said that 7 police teams are heading the investigations.
Last morning, police made the gruesome discovery of 5 charred bodies inside the burnt-out van in Dankote. Police have also focused their attention on the blood splatter that was discovered opposite the Makandura public grounds, which is located 15 kilometers away from where the van was found. Police said that they cannot rule this incident as a homicide. Police, however, said that the incident was not a natural event. Statements have been recorded from around 20 persons, and the van in question had been provided to a private financial institution by a woman in Kolpiti. The financial institution had handed over the van to an individual known as Kapila Senaratne from Kajuatta, Makandura, who is a repossession professional. Kapila Senaratne Bandara was out on bail following an incident where he attacked an individual with a sword. There are several cases on robberies filed against this individual, and he is a registered criminal in the country. Police say that they have not confirmed as to whether Kapila Senaratne Bandara was among the dead discovered in the burnt-out van yesterday. Newsfirst today went in search of the residents of Kapila Senaratne Bandara in Makandura.
ඔය විදිහට මරලා යාව ඔය විදිහට පුච්චලා දාන්න තරහකාරයෝ නැහැ. එච්චරයි කියන්න දෙන්නේ. මේක වැරදීමක්ද කියලා හිතෙනවා. කපිල් දෙන්න අරකට කියන කවුරුවත් නැහැ. මොම කියන්නේ හොඳ.
අන්තිමට කොහොමද කතා කරේ?
අන්තිමට දුවේක කතා කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඊපස්සේ මේ තාත්තා කොහේ හරි යන ගමන් වගේ වාහනේ සද්දය වුණා කවුරු හරි කතා කරන සද්දෙත් ඇතුළේ වුණා මම තිබ්බාම ෆෝන් එක.
දවස් කීයකින් ගෙදර ආවේ නැද්ද?
යා කොහොමද ගෙදර එන්නේ සතියකට සැරයක් සති දෙකකට සැරයක්. ඒ වගේ තමයි ගෙදර ඉන්නේ.
අන්තිමට ගෙදර ආවේ?
අන්තිමට ගෙදර ආවේ ගිය සති බ්‍රහස්පතින්දා.
කොහෙද වැඩ කරන්නේ?
කල්පිට පිනෑස් එකේ.
ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා කොහෙද වැඩ කරේ?
කොහෙවත් නෑ අවුරුදු 12-13ක් විතරම නේවි එකේ හිටිය කාලයක් ඊපස්සේ කම්පැනි තමයි රස්සාව කරේ. කකුල ඇක්සිඩන්ට් එකක් වෙලා ප්ලේට් එකක් දාලා තියෙන කකුල.
The post-mortem into the bodies was scheduled to take place at the Nigambo General Hospital. However, as the identities have not been ascertained, the Nigambo JMP decided to postpone the post-mortem.
The schoolboy who was arrested and released over the homicide of Seya Sadomi in Kotadeniava was arrested by the police last night along with 2 other youth on the charges of possessing heroin.
The boy and 3 others were arrested in a house in the Pinkale estate in Devulapitiya last night following a tip-off. Police seized 62 milligrams of heroin from their possession. The suspects were produced before the acting magistrate of Minuwanguda AAR Aryathilaka this evening. The acting magistrate ordered that the suspects be released on a police bail bond of 100,000 rupees each.
I went to a friend's house and the police were there. They took me away. I did not have anything in my person. I think the police is still angered following my incident.
This was a false arrest just like last time. Justice has not been served. This is the lie.
Well, a police sergeant who was hospitalized following an assault by an individual in the Mahamudli Mawate area in Dadalat called.
An altercation had taken place between 2 groups during a party last night in the Mahamudli Mawate area in Dadala. One individual has attacked another with a sword. After the police emergency hotline received information that the group continued to behave in an unruly manner, even at dawn today, a group of police officers had visited the area. Eyewitnesses said that an intoxicated individual has attacked the police sergeant with a pole. One person came to assault me with a pole. I pleaded for him not to hurt me. The officers then grabbed him. He demanded that he be set free and threatened the officers. The police sergeant who was injured was admitted to the Karapete Teaching Hospital, while the group under the influence of alcohol had caused damage to the police vehicle. Police said that 3 suspects had been arrested over the incident.
Well, on to a story that made it to the headlines this evening. Farmers demonstrated in several areas citing various demands, including the fertilizer subsidy.
This demonstration took place at the Godakavela town this morning with the participation of paddy, rubber and tea farmers.
We urge the government to grant the fertilizer subsidy to the tea and rubber farmers as well. Earlier we could obtain around 1,000 kilograms of buds. Now they don't even give us 50 kilograms.
Farmers also demonstrated this morning in Suriyava Hambantota, demanding that the fertilizer subsidy be granted as it was done before. The farmers gathered at the town centre and then marched to the Suriyava Divisional Secretariat, where they demonstrated. The farmers then returned to the Suriyava town and demonstrated, causing traffic on the roads.
If we are given the fertilizer subsidy as before, we can engage in farming. For this money they give us, we cannot purchase fertilizer.
Farmers also gathered in the Hakmana town and demonstrated for the same cause.
The price is 22 rupees and we sell paddy for 22 rupees after purchasing fertilizer for 2,500 rupees.
The cremation ceremony of the late Mahanayaka of the Askeri chapter of the Siam sect, the Most Venerable Kalagama Sri Attadasutero, will take place tomorrow afternoon at the Askeria Police Grounds in Kandy. The government also declared tomorrow as a National Day of Mourning.
The body of the late Mahanayaka will be placed at the Pravarupali Memorial Hall in Askeria until 1:30 p.m. tomorrow for the public to pay their last respects. Bishop of Kandy, Reverend Father Vianney Fernando, arrived last night to pay his last respects. Ministers, MPs and people in large numbers arrived to pay their last respects today as well.
Well, on a related note, the Catholic Bishops' Conference in Sri Lanka expressed its sorrow over the passing of the late Mahanayaka of the Askeri chapter, the late Most Venerable Kalagama Sri Attadasutero.
The message of condolence bearing the signatures of the President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference, His Eminence Malcolm Cardinal Ranjit, and Secretary General of the Conference, Right Reverend Dr. Valence Mendes, notes that the late Mahanayaka Thera rendered a great service to the nation through his committed leadership in a matter of national importance. The message adds that the Catholic Bishops' Conference in Sri Lanka appreciates deeply the contribution the late Mahanayaka made towards fostering interreligious harmony in the country. The Catholic Bishops' Conference in Sri Lanka offers condolences to the Venerable Anunayaka Theras, the venerable members of the Askeri chapter, as well as the entire Buddhist brethren of Sri Lanka on this sad occasion.
UMP parliamentarian Hirunika Premachandra expressed the following at an event in Kolonava.
After President Maithripala Sirisena was elected, the people were wondering whether former President Mahinda Rajapaksa would allow things to take place. Personally, he is a good person. All those around him, like former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Basil Rajapaksa, Nama Rajapaksa and Yoshida Rajapaksa, came into his political life after 2005. There were only a handful who worked to make him president. One of them was my father. He went wrong when he brought the wrong kind closer to him. What happens when we pluck a mango or guava before it is ripe? We will have to wait. Such is the character of Namal Rajapaksa.
The parliamentarian was speaking at an event to present dry rations to pregnant women in Kolonava to mark International Women's Day.
Vijayadasu Rajapaksa, the Minister of Justice and Buddha Sasana, speaking in Maharagama, commented on Sri Lanka's economic status.
In the year 2006, our country had a debt amount of 2,000 billion rupees to foreign countries. That amount has increased to 8,000 billion rupees at the beginning of the year 2015. From 1948 to 2006, for a period of 58 years, the total debt amount was around 2,000 billion rupees. But during the past 9 years, 6,000 billion rupees has been added. Then it sums up to 8,000 billion rupees. It was revealed that another 2,000 billion rupees has been added to the debt amount where proper accounts were not maintained in the treasury. So we have an overall debt amount of 10,000 billion rupees to the foreign countries. The debt amount we have to pay exceeds the expected revenue in the year 2016.
The largest public service initiative Sri Lanka has ever seen, the Newsfirst Come at the Door-to-Door campaign marked Day 18 today.
Come at the Door-to-Door. a national public service initiative. Today News First visited the Akurana, Kasavatta and Bosada villages in the Kandy district. The Piga Oya Anicut in Akurana was constructed back in 1947 and today is a playground as it has not been renovated for years.
Money is allocated every year, but they don't use the money. People cannot travel. This might endanger lives.
The primary concern raised by the people from the Bosada village was the road system in the area not being renovated for over 3 years. Families living in around 500 houses on the road from Bosada to Puja Pitia have been left in discomfort due to this. The locals from Ihagama Madavala also suffer from the absence of a proper road system.
Though we have vehicles, we cannot travel. Even the officials say that they cannot come because of the dilapidated state of the roads. We take children to school, which is 4 kilometers away from this place.
We spend every cent to travel by three-wheelers.
This bridge in the Debaralava area in Madavala was built at a cost of 30 million rupees. However, measures have not been taken to construct a proper road system.
Even if someone is sick, we cannot take them through this road. These roads flood when it rains. It is inconvenient to go to the Pedina, Madhavala and Kurunagal areas. They have not done anything. They spent billions and make only bridges.
We had to take a patient on a chair where around 4 people had to carry for half a mile. After that only we can take a vehicle. It is that difficult to travel.
No one came at least to open this.
The News First team based in the eastern province visited the areas of Vilgambehara, Upparwa, Sonavettuan today and inquired into the issues faced by its locals. The major concerns that were noted was not having permanent land deeds, a drinking water crisis and the constant threat of wild elephants. In order to fulfill their daily drinking water needs, these locals have been forced to walk around 5 kilometers to obtain water.
We have to do the cleaning, repairing, maintaining the solar machine on our own. With the sponsorship of regional officials, an electric fence was built, but no one is there to take responsibility of maintaining this. If this breaks, we have no one to tell.
This electric fence that has been set up around the Kuchaveli Forest Reserve in Kantale appears to be a measure to prevent wild elephants from encroaching onto the village. The task of maintaining the fence now lies with the village. In the Sonavettuan village, News First came across a group of people who were displaced by the war. People from the Upparu village are spending their lives amidst the greatest difficulties.
I earn through the poultry industry. I take care of my children with the greatest difficulty. We need someone to help us.
Kevilton, a company under the Capital Maharaja Organisation Limited, supported the News First Come at the door-to-door campaign today. A News First team visited several villages that come under the Bulat Sinhala Divisional Secretariat in the Kalutara district. The Colombo village is located on the borders of the Western and Sabaragama provinces, and the major issues faced by the locals was the lack of a proper road system. This bridge is what links these two provinces.
ස්කෝල යන්නේ කළුතර දිස්ත්‍රික්ක. කළුතර. ඒතකොට ඡන්දේ දාන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ කොහටද? කලවාන. ඒතකොට කලවාන ආසනේ ඔය. ඒතකොට කොච්චර දුර යන්නේ? කිලෝ 70 මට අමාරක් යන්නේ. 70 මට අමාරක් දුර ගිහලා තමයි ඡන්දේ දාන්නේ.
It is difficult to go to school. We have to leave home around 6 in the morning. It is very far. We take patients in a chair. It takes around 4 hours to go to the hospital. Either we have to go to the Badroliya or Bulat Sinhala.
Either we can take to the hospital or can even die on the way. There's no road even to take a three-wheeler. We have to walk around 4.5 kilometers.
During the News First Gum at the Door-to-Door campaign today, the News First team came across this extraordinary individual who earns an income by working in the tea estates in the Valakada area in Baduraliya. Though he had lost his sight, he had not lost the courage inside and works to provide for his family of 3 sisters. They live amidst many difficulties and have one request from the responsible authorities of the nation.
Mandula, මේ වගේ දඬු වැටක් අපිට කොහෙද දකින්න පුළුවන්?
ඔබ වසන්ත ඇත්තටම දඬු වැටක් නම් අපි දැකලා තියෙන බොහෝ දුරට භාවිතා කරනවා එක්ක නිවසක් ඉදිරි පිටට වැටකට එහෙම නැත්නම් ආරක්ෂිත ක්‍රමයක් ලෙස.
මෙතන ආරක්ෂිත ක්‍රමයේ ඇවිල්ලා මේ තියෙන කුස්සිය. මම ඉන්නේ කුස්සියේ. ඔබ ඉන්නේ කාමරයක. මේ දරුවෝ කාමරේ ඉඳලා කුස්සියට එයි කියලා බයට තමයි මේ දඬු වැට යොදලා තියෙන්නේ. එහෙමනේ?
Well, that was a summary on how a family in Maduragiri lives. Newsfirst came across Nishanta's family during the Gum at the Door-to-Door campaign. After this report was witnessed by the nation, Venerable Batramulle Silaratna Thero has decided to offer this family with a house.
Leader of the Janasatha Perumuna laid the foundation stone for the construction of a new house for Nishanta in the Mekollava village in Amakaswaba, Maduragiri.
The Sirasa Media Network is doing what should be done by the government. When the ministers fill their pockets, they never think of the people. Gum at the Door-to-Door, a national public service initiative.
The unparalleled island-wide campaign, Gum at the Door-to-Door. News First, Sri Lanka's largest and most influential news provider, together with the University of Peradeniya, takes the unprecedented step. Walking from home to home, asking people this one simple question: what would make your life better? From the 24th of February to the 18th of March, covering all 25 districts, ensuring the very last home in each village is covered. A revolutionary campaign with one aim: giving a voice to the voiceless.
The Kallan River has been the centre of many pollution claims as of late. To look into these claims, Newsfirst correspondent Avanka Kumara set sail from the Modura estuary of the Kallan River with a group of environmentalists. I'm close to the Modura estuary where the Kallan River flows into the ocean. I'm beginning my journey to look into the fate of the Kallan River, which provides water to the city of Colombo.
This canal, which our News First correspondent found around 1 kilometer from Crow Island close to the Modura estuary, is just one such canal which adds polluted water to the river. After travelling over 25 kilometers by boat along the river, many such canals could be found. A few kilometers ahead, footage recorded shows how waste matter from improper housing facilities flows into the Kalani River. After many unpleasant observations, our News First correspondent reached the Lanka area in Paliagoda. His camera captured footage of how layers of oil gets collected to the river from this oil pipeline, which flows into the Kallan River from Henamulla Totalanga.
Oil and carbon.
Due to the prevalent dry spell of weather causing the seawater to flow into the river, environmentalists point out that there is a high possibility of the waste matter flowing towards the Ambatale water purification plant located on higher grounds. While travelling towards the Ambatale water pumping plant, workers were in the process of building a barrier made of sandbags across the river. The objective of these workers is to prevent water mixed with saline from flowing into the area. Our correspondent continued travelling further, despite the barricade causing an obstruction to the journey. Upon reaching Kaduwela, waste being released to the river from a factory in the area could be seen. The Ambatale water treatment plant is less than a kilometer from this point. Environmentalists suspect that chemical matter may have got mixed with the water by sightings of foam in the area.
When you travel along the Kalini River, it is unimaginable as to how many canals which collects waste and polluted water could be found. This is actually quite a disappointing fact. This is harmful to those using the river, its environment as well as the animals which live off it.
Every 500 meters during the course of our entire journey, such special equipment was used to examine the river's pH standards.
If you take a look at the observations of these tests, there is a high percentage of mixture in the water every 4 kilometers of the river, and most often than not, the pH standard is below 6. The general pH standards of a river could be between 6 and 5.7 or 5.8. There are 2 water treatment plants at the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. One is the plant in Pattivala and the other is Ambatale. So it is hard to imagine the cost which has to be bared when it comes to purifying the water at plants like Ambatale. There is also a concern whether or not these plants have the required facilities to purify water as polluted as this.
Starting off sports with the Battle of the Blues, Royal College Colombo won the 137th edition of the Battle of the Blues, defeating St. Thomas's College, Mount Lavinia by 4 wickets. Incidentally, this is the 35th time that Royal College Colombo won the annual Big Match encounter.
Royal College Colombo opened day 3 with an overnight score of 280 runs for the loss of 7 wickets. Number 3 batsman Pasunda Surya Bandara amassed 123 runs, facing 309 deliveries. His innings comprised of 17 drives to the boundary. Middle order batsman Malit Karyavasam scored 78 runs. Johan Pereira bagged 3 Royal Cubs for 47 runs. Royal College Colombo declared their first innings on 328 runs for the loss of 9 wickets. Taking the bat in their second essay, St. Thomas's College Mount Lavinia were dismissed for a mere 127 runs. Only 4 Thomaian batsmen scored over 10 runs in their second innings. Himesh Ramanayaka bagged 4 wickets for 64 runs. Royal College Colombo were thereby set a target of 150 runs to chase. The Royalists won the game, losing just 6 wickets.
Well, still in some school cricket, St. Peter's College Bamlapitia chased down 258 runs to win the annual limited over encounter over rivals St. Joseph's College Colombo 10. Batting first, St. Joseph's College Maradana posted 258 runs for the loss of 6 wickets in their 50 overs. Rowan Kelly scored 87 runs while Kevin Quatling chipped in with 35 runs. Sadish Patranagay bagged 2 for 41. Chasing the target, St. Peter's College Maulapitia scored 259 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in 39.1 overs. Heshan Varunasekara top scored with an unbeaten 118 runs. Well, on that note, it's time for us to wrap up this edition of Weekend Primetime News. Thank you very much for stopping by. But stay tuned for our latest updates on www.newsfirst.lk. Thank you for stopping by. For the news team, I'm Joel Outsfield.